just now see me. Poof, bitch. You can all thank Nick, cause he now a genie. Cause I wish the motherfucker would and you did. I don't start shit, all I start is movement. Like, guess I gotta make this shit in black and white. I don't give a shit about who black or white. Racists trying to make it so we can unite. Keep talking fuck shit, motherfucker, we gon' have to fight like. Guess I gotta make this shit in black and white. I don't give a shit about who black or white. Racists trying to make it so we can unite. Keep talking fuck shit, motherfucker, we gon' have to fight.
Okay.
All right. So the first question we have is, when was the first time you were made aware of your racial identity and realized that your race would play a pivotal role in the challenges you face on a daily basis? You got A, we'll say for the multiple choice, A is ages 1 through 5, B is ages 6 through 10, D is 11 to present, or C is 11 to present, and D is never. Now, to be quite honest with you, they don't have the answer up there that I need, because I guess it would be 11 to present, but actually for me, it wasn't until I was in my 20s that race, or well, probably about 18, 19, maybe 20, that race was actually addressed with me. And what was interesting is the person that addressed the race issue with me was a black person. It wasn't anybody white.
Oh yeah, it'd be in my 30s for me, because that's when all this Marxist shit took hold.
So you're a C2 then, basically.
Yeah.
What we got out in the chat? What do you guys say? What's your answer? A, B, C, or D?
It is, but this one guy in the chat is correct. It is a dumb question.
It is a dumb question. It really is. It doesn't really.
No, it's very ambiguous, purposely ambiguous, I would say.
Right.
Because there's too many steps to it. You have to meet too many different marks to answer it. Well,
I want you guys out, Four Corners. I want you guys out in the chat to answer too. I mean, me and Mayo we both have to go with C, 11 to present, 11 years old to present, because that's when we were made. That's when we were made to realize our race. But I think he's in the same boat I was with. It was a black person that did it.
Four Corners says D.
Cluu is 6 to 10. You know what? Cluu, I'm going to give your answers and see how white privileged you are. Or do you want to see what me and Mayo's are first, since we're probably going to be pretty much right on line with each other, I bet. Yeah, we'll do ours first. Cluu says, "Oh no." All right, so and Four Corners. So yeah, Cluu, we're going to use your answers, and then we'll go back and do me and Mayo's afterwards. The second question is, how often are you reminded about being the race with which you identify? A, several times a day. B, once a day. C, several times a week. D, once a month. And E, never. So because I'm on YouTube all the time, almost daily, I would have to say once a day at least, because I'm always in black spaces too, apparently. So I would have to say B.
No, I would say several times a day, because we see it in the news.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All over the internet.
Cluu, once a day. That's Clu's answer, because we're doing Clu's answers. We're going to find out how white privileged he is.
Yeah.
The answers are A, several times a day. B, once a day. C, several times a week. D, once a month. Or E, never. And Cluu said that's only because he doesn't watch the news. As a child, question 3, as a child, how often were you given safety instructions on how to walk through a department store or public establishment in a way that did not foster suspicion or attract attention? A, frequently. B, sometimes. C, rarely. D, never. For me, it was sometimes, because my mom didn't play that shit. It was she didn't want suspicion or any attention attracted to anybody. Cluu says never. Same with what say you, Mayo?
Four Corners says D.
Yeah. What's your answer? I got it sometimes from my mom, just because she would say, "Don't go in the store acting stupid," and you know.
Yeah. But that's not what they're going for here. We all know this.
But the way they worded the question.
Yeah, I'd say sometimes.
Because a kid, going in and acting crazy in a store does foster suspicion and attract attention.
Yeah, I'd say sometimes then.
Red, you grew up in Detroit. We know you got all kinds of white privilege, and you're a ginger on top of it, man. You're like leaking white privilege out of your pores.
You got plenty of white privilege, no soul.
Right. Question 4. How often have you been or are you now coached by parents or guardians or family members on how to behave or what to say in order to avoid being perceived as dangerous or menacing when confronting law enforcement, teachers, or authority figures? A, frequently. B, sometimes. D, rarely. C, never. That's something I never had to deal with.
Rarely.
That, well, for me, that's
I just because my dad gave me the talk of what to do when you get stopped.
Well, that only happened like once for me.
Yeah, but that would be rarely. It wouldn't be never, and it wouldn't be sometimes.
Clue says D, never. You know, people are going to try and say the Clue's capping on this. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, right now, Clue, I'm smelling a lot of white privilege coming your way. It seems like us crackers that have been answering this deal with more systemic racism than you have, sir. You know what? Clue, I'm going to drop, if you ain't doing anything, I'm going to drop the link. Why don't you just hop up here with us for a minute? The next question, number 5. How often do you talk with close friends and family members or just wonder to yourself whether or not your racial identity is negatively impacting your daily interactions with others? A, every day. B, once a week. C, once a month. D, once a year. E, never.
Every day.
Yeah, me, it's every day too.
Yep.
What's your answer, white boy? I'm not talking to you either, Mayo. I'm talking to the Clue channel. E, never. All right, question 6. Red, every time someone tells me I have privilege. Okay, 4 corners. The question again is, how often do you talk with close friends and family members or just wonder to yourself whether or not your racial identity is negatively impacting your daily interactions with others? A, every day. B, once a week. C, once a month. D, once a year. E, never. All right. Damn it. The next question is question 6. How often have you wondered if your race negatively impacted a job interview, a grade, a confrontation with a coworker or friend? A, too many to count. B, periodically. C, seldom. Or D, never. I'd say B, periodically.
Yeah, I'd say periodically.
What say you, Clue? Oh, yeah, let me guess. Never. Right? Never. Not once. Holy shit! You got you. He gave an almost black answer.
Damn.
I'm starting to think you're a white dude in blackface, Clue. And like I said, if you like the content, man, and you like what we're doing here now over here on the Angry Snowman channel, hosted by the new host of the channel, Cluu Black. But please help support by hitting the Cash App, which is pinned at the top of the chat, or you can hit the PayPal link that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I guess it ain't really a link, but it gives you the address to the PayPal. And I know the link to the PayPal is somewhere in the chat. You just got to find it. But you can always support us that way. But the easiest way you can all support us, and you can do it for free, and it actually helps us, helps the channel grow, and helps us get in the algorithm, is just by hitting that like button and sharing the stream. Now, question 7. How often are you the only person or very few of your identified race in a daily... Hold on. How often are you the only person or very few of your identified race in daily activities, including church, school, social activities, etc.?
Never.
We'll say A, always. B, frequently. C, seldom. D, never. I would say it's seldom for me, honestly, because it does happen from time to time. Red, I know that it's always for you. You live dude? You live right in the ghetto of Detroit. And Clue, I know it's going to be never for you. See, seldom. Interesting. 8. Have you ever been tempted to deny your racial identity in order to feel more comfortable in a particular setting or to have an advantage? A, always. B, frequently. C, seldom. D, never. No. D, never. I've never been tempted. I've never been tempted to deny my racial identity. The only thing that I do is deny white supremacy or some kind of racial privilege. You're going to have to tell me Clue's answer because my phone just died.
All right.
I was watching it on my phone. So
Clue gave a B.
All right. B, frequently. 9, have you ever found yourself feeling frustrated, invisible, or ashamed in a history class because you felt your people weren't represented or represented accurately in history? A, yes, always. B, yes, often. C, yes, sometimes. D, never. I went to an all-white school for the most part, so I would have to say that was never.
Yeah.
And that's the only time that I've ever been in a class, and that was also 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Cluu, what do you say? Cluu, you were maybe sometimes because of what you were taught in school when they started teaching slavery and racism and shit.
Cluu hasn't answered yet. Red said only in rap battles.
Red, you ain't shit, dude. And Cluu says D, fucking never. Fucking never. Interesting. Which one? What that was D, fucking never. Question 10. While watching television or movies, do you often feel that people who look like you are racially or culturally connected to you are not represented or misrepresented in the media? A, yes, always. B, yes, often. C, yes, sometimes. D, never. I'm going to have to say yes, often. Because white people are misrepresented in the media all the fucking time. So I know Clue's going to say yes, often too, because so are black people. That's what's crazy. Black men and white men are always, always, always misrepresented in the media. Don't you think that's fair? Are you still with us, Mayo? Did I lose you? Hello?
Oh, sorry, I had my mute on. I'm here. Yeah, I would say always, actually. Because you never see a intelligent white guy on TV.
Clue says C, yes, sometimes. How often have you wondered if something you said or did in a public setting might reflect negatively on your identified race? A, frequently. B, sometimes. C, seldom. D, never. How often have you wondered if something you said or did in a public setting might reflect negatively on your identified race? A, frequently. B, sometimes. C, seldom. D, never. What's that say? What say you, Clue? A, B, C, or D? I got my phone back on now, too, so I can see his comments when they pop up. Answer me. We're to the last one. We're going to find out if you have white privilege, sir.
He's got C, but I don't know if that's from the last answer.
I think that's from the last question.
Okay.
He says D, never. I make blacks look good. You fucking ain't shit, dude. So, he said, I can now. I had to look on StreamYard to see it. I couldn't see it in the YouTube chat, but I could see it in StreamYard.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
D, never. So what we're going to do is now, since Clue took this test before we submit answers, what do you think? What's your chances? How much white privilege do you think that they're going to say that Clue gets, Mayo?
A lot.
Because from what I'm looking at here, I'm looking at a pretty privileged. This ain't even Clue's answers aren't even typical to your. He isn't even the trailer park white boy.
No.
I mean, this guy right here.
He's solidly upper middle class.
Oh yeah, he went to a private school, possibly a Catholic school.
Yeah.
He
summer camp.
Yeah,
away from
basketball
home.
camp for sure.
Yep.
He played. He was a popular kid. He was probably a jock. Played football and basketball. He was well liked by his peers in school. Dude, I'd be willing to bet that he was probably one of the first kids in his class to get a nice car and be able to go out and peacock with that, pick up.
He was definitely one of the first kids in his peer group to get laid.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to say from what I'm seeing here that he's going to probably about 75 to 80%. What do you say?
I don't know. It's going to be high. I just don't know what grade system they're going to use.
Clue says, my head is blowing up. Keep going.
Get these answers.
Here's the answer. Submit answers. Clue, you are 56% white privileged. You have a small amount of white privilege. Man, I figured it was a little higher than that.
Yeah.
A little higher. But you still benefit from white privilege. How does it feel to know you're a white man? Now, I'll run mine real fast and let you guys see what I get. Let me go back. Get rid of this ad. I'll go this way. My answers are, I had 11 to present. How often are you reminded of race identity? Several times a day, because for some reason black supremacists don't like my cracker ass. As a child, how often were you? Sometimes. How often have you been coached by parents or guardians? That was rarely, because I did have the talk with my dad on how to conduct myself during a traffic stop so I didn't get arrested. How often do you talk with close friends and families, or just wondering about your racial identity? What did we say? Every day? With talking about racial identity?
Every day. We're faced with it every day.
No, how often do you talk with close friends and family members?
Or think.
Or not?
Or wonder to yourself.
Or just wonder, yeah. I guess it is every day. How often do you wonder if your race negatively impacted your job interview? Seldom.
I'd say periodically or seldom. Yeah.
How often are you the only person who identified as a race? And that was seldom, or because it ain't really frequently. I don't really do a whole lot anymore. Have you ever been tempted to deny your race or identity? I said never.
Never.
I will never be ashamed. Have you ever felt yourself frustrated, invisible, or ashamed? And no, never, because I went to a white school. While watching television movies, often I'm always misrepresented. How often have you wondered if something you did or said? Sometimes.
Never. Oh, really?
Yeah. For me, it is sometimes. Dude, I say a lot of fucking shit that pisses people off.
That's true. That's true.
Holy shit, I'm 31% white privileged.
Man, you're horrible at being white, dude.
I know, dude. I suck at being white.
You need some white boy classes. We're gonna have to send you to Cape Cod and shit.